What's going on, Japsters? This is your boy SYNTELL with Intel. Today's Intel involves a sigh of relief as Star Wars Obi-Wan wraps its shooting schedule, and we get another sneak peek at a thought-provoking costume reveal in the new Flash movie. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscription button, click the bell icon for up-to-date news breaks, and give us a well-placed thumbs up. That's how the algorithm knows that you're digging what we're giving to you. Let's get started. After almost a decade of on-again, off-again production stops and starts to Star Wars Obi-Wan, oh my gosh, the series is almost ready to be unveiled. Thank goodness. The project starring everyone's favorite sensei as Obi-Wan has been at the top of most fans' wish lists since Disney bought the property back in 2012. Most of that time, the actor dismissed any thoughts about his return to the role. Well, turns out that wasn't entirely true. Back in 2019, Kathleen Kennedy announced that McGregor would shake off the tattoo and sand from his robe and break out the lightsaber once again. Hopes were only magnified when Deborah Chow, who cut her teeth on The Mandalorian's first season, was confirmed to direct the series. Then the outbreak hit the world, but fortunately, it didn't derail the entire project. Filming commenced in spring. Now the project can be said in confidence that the finishing stages are underway. In an interview with Variety, actor Ewan McGregor confirmed that Obi-Wan has finished filming. He says, and I quote, "We finished shooting our series. It was really good fun. I really enjoyed working with Deborah Chow." The actor was confident that Star Wars fans will be pleased. "I think it will not disappoint. I think it's going to be good." McGregor had nothing but good things to say about his castmates. "I had a really good time making it and I worked with some really wonderful, lovely people." Also noted was the use of the volume technology and how different the filming process was between Kenobi and the prequel trilogy. The new technology we employed was cool. It was a different experience than making the original 3 films that I did, and I really liked it. It's looking like the long wait is finally going to pay off. The original concept for Obi-Wan was based around a film. I, for one, am happy that we get a longer series to get to know Obi-Wan a little bit longer. With the undoubtable success that series have shown, especially on a platform such as Disney+, diehard fans will get a much fuller experience of the Obi-Wan's background in a live-action format. This isn't to dismiss the long-running Clone Wars animated series, which shows a larger role of the Jedi Master, but a lot of that screen time was shared fleshing out the deeper understandings of his other mainstream characters, such as Anakin. The performer made references to great people he got to work with, and Hayden Christensen was certainly one of those he had in mind, returning to play Darth Vader for what Kathleen Kennedy has described as the rematch of the century between him and Kenobi. Christensen has been embraced by the Star Wars community since the days when his work as Anakin Skywalker was planned during the release of these prequels. If you haven't watched any of the Clone Wars, it was a really good redemption of that character, because some people feel that his version of Anakin wasn't the best that it could have been, but in such a short format, it's kind of hard to really get to understand the little nuances of those particular characters. That's something that the Clone Wars really brought to life. Anakin was like a brother, as Obi-Wan says, and the burden of losing someone so close to him to the dark side will weigh heavily on the Jedi Master as he undertakes this new journey. While he can't save his fallen student, he can protect his offspring, something Obi-Wan will reportedly be doing in the series. Contrary to common assumption, Kenobi's adventure will be kickstarted by a threat to Leia, not Luke. This was mentioned by Cinelinx. Rumors of the young princess's involvement in the series have spanned back quite some time, and word of Blair's casting further corroborates this news. Telling a compelling story about Obi-Wan during his time between episodes 3 and 4 was always going to be difficult, as there's little that can be done in terms of action for an exiled Jedi intent on watching over someone. There's really only one thing that can motivate Obi-Wan to leave his dusty hut and take action: a threat to the children of Anakin Skywalker. The vast majority of his time in solitude is spent looking after Luke, and beyond Maul's realization of his purpose in Rebels, little more has come from Obi-Wan's days as a hermit. Kenobi has a much closer connection to Luke for obvious reasons, but Leia is just as important to the future of the galaxy, and a dire threat to the princess is something big enough to prompt action from the Jedi Master. What exactly Leia does to get herself into trouble and catch the eyes of the Empire is going to be an interesting subject. At the point of the timeline where Kenobi takes place, the twins are only 10 years old and Leia is far off from her early days in the rebellion. Perhaps it's not so much her actions, but an encounter with an Imperial that draws some suspicion about the kid's heritage. A disturbance in the Force of this magnitude should get the crazy old wizard to briefly abandon his post and take on any threats posed to both Leia and, by an outside chance, Luke. There will be battle with the Inquisitor, possible run-ins with former allies, and the greatest threat to the twins of all, Darth Vader. The Sith Lord must be prevented from learning about his children at all costs, and Obi-Wan is more than up to the challenge of fulfilling his duty. Perhaps Obi-Wan and Leia will meet, alongside even Bail Organa. Former senator trusted his adopted daughter enough to send her in search of Kenobi's aid during the events in Rogue One. And beyond a few lines in her iconic message in A New Hope, it seems as if Leia knew more of the Jedi Master than mere instructions to be rescued. How everything plays out will be very interesting to say the least. Of all the Star Wars projects to come under Disney, ObiWan Kenobi may be the one most closely tied to George Lucas's saga based on the connections to Vader and his kids alone, even more so than the sequel's trilogy. With each new detail to come, the outlook for the series becomes more and more promising. Fans can certainly expect exceptional performances and direction, and hopefully a thrilling story as well. For many, the release of Obi-Wan Kenobi may be a dream fulfilled. It'll be a day long remembered. Obi-Wan debuts on Disney Plus in 2022. So, new photos show Michael Keaton's Batman costume spray painted with the Flash's colors. The Flash, whose current movie is being finalized, released a photo showing a Batman costume spray painted with the Flash's logo. This is a continued sneak peek that director Andy Muschietti has posted with costume reveals. Back in June, Andy revealed Tim Burton's armor with a disturbing splash of blood over the chest plate's bat symbol. This reveal opens up some interesting concepts. The Flash could finally showcase what happened to Michael Keaton's Batman after Batman Returns, and this new image could hint at two possibilities. For starters, this image of the Batsuit can potentially tease a darker turn for Keaton's Dark Knight, with the blood signifying that the hero resorted to brutal ways since his last movie appearance. This is in line with the arc of the Thomas Wayne's Caped Crusader from the Flashpoint storyline from the comics. For context, Thomas is a far more ruthless Batman who is an all-out killing machine. Yeah, it's none of those beat downs for a quick lesson of what did you do. He's just kicking ass and taking names. If you want a relatively quick 90-minute breakdown of the Flashpoint series, check out DC's animated movie about the storyline. It's really good. It's probably one of my all-time favorite DC movies. On a separate note, this bloody image could be a hint of a grim future for Keaton's Batman. This could tease the end of the DC hero, with the blood alluding to his death at the tail end of the Flash. As I said before, Andy Muschietti has a history of revealing sneak peeks on his Instagram. A few months ago, he revealed Flash's new look and the new chest symbol that'll be featured on Ezra Miller's speedster suit in the film. The updated design shows some significant changes from Barry Allen's last canon appearance in the 2017 Justice League, directed by Joss Whedon. When Ezra Miller's Flash suit first debuted in the DCEU, it was heavily criticized by many fans for having a heavier armor design than would be expected from the Scarlet Speedster. Andy Muschietti certainly seems to be aiming to please Flash fans with his redesign of Miller's suit as he switches to a more traditional comic look for the character. He's doing this with a unique pattern design surrounding a comic-accurate Flash symbol on a vibrant red, white, and gold. The Flash's new look could be the best speedster suit ever seen put to screen. Now, listen, throughout Grant Gustin's CW tenure as Barry Allen, the show has certainly seen its ups and downs in terms of both writing and quality of the suits. While Gustin has donned some legendary looks in his 7-year tenure, the latest high-budget blockbuster could be set to top even the iconic Season 2 suit. Yo, that was probably the most accurate one. I was feeling that one. While much of the DCEU has followed a much darker tone, with the Flash serving as its comedic relief, the bright red and gold color scheme seems to signal a lighter atmosphere in the director's take of the DC hero. Andy Muschietti has also previously revealed a sneak peek to Supergirl's costume as well. Similar to the reveal of Barry Allen's Flash costume by director Andy Muschietti, he has now done the same for a Superman-esque costume for Sasha Calle's Supergirl. One instantly noticeable aspect about Supergirl's emblem is that it's almost identical to Henry Cavill's Superman, which actually has a lot of potential implications. It would be odd for Callie's Supergirl to be from Burton's Batman universe, considering the design sensibilities match more closely to director Zack Snyder's design for The Man of Tomorrow. In one interview, when asked about other Kryptonians being on Earth besides Kal-El, Snyder mentioned the empty pod Clark found in Man of Steel, something that many fans had assumed belonged to Kara Zor-El. It's possible that the Flash will pick up on this idea from Snyder by having Callie's Supergirl finally reveal herself and take after her cousin. One thing can be concluded with all these costume reveals: the merging of all these worlds will remain true to the artistic design they originally came from. In case you're still on the fence regarding the authenticity of the movie's origins and Flashpoint, there have been reports of some noticeable changes in regards to the original comic. You can take some solace in knowing that you can relive a quick romp through the history of the DC cinematic space with the release of these costume designs. Alright, I'm officially done breaking your brain. That's the scoop for the day. Thank you so much for hanging out. Make sure you hit the subscription button and click the bell icon to receive up-to-the-minute updates. There's also a nifty little thumbs up button that you can hit as well. That's how YouTube knows that you're digging what we're giving to you. This is SYNTELL with the Intel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.